Hi Flosstube, welcome to Sound Mind Stitching. I'm Chelsea and this is episode 27. It is, November 1st, 2024. I thought I might wait till next week to film a video, but I had enough to share and I had time. So I also thought it would be fun to share some of my past Halloween stitching. What's happening here? I don't know. So I pulled up some finishes that I had downstairs for decoration. It's time, I'm not fully transitioning my house out of Halloween today, but I brought up the decorations to show you. So I have some whips, no finishes since my last video, but I have a couple project bags I made I was gonna show you, and yeah, some of these old whips. I also wanted to talk a little bit about Notion, which, as I'm trying to pull it up on my computer, Notion is a database management website, I guess, and it's basically spreadsheets on steroids, and I just downloaded, paid for a template that lets you organize all your stitching in Notion, and I already use Notion for work and just for some other personal stuff, so I already kind of know the basics, but I've been really enjoying getting into that. So I'm going to talk about that and leave some links if you're interested. So I guess to start our whips, because that's all I have to show you in terms of stitching, new stitching. So I meant to talk about this last time. I had it in my notes and I just went over it completely, but I've been using the Tiny Decisions wheel. If you watch Jen's Fiber Web, she uses it, and I think Sally Stitches also uses it. It's basically just a spinner you could make. You can put whatever you want in it. And I basically looked at everything that I have left that I really want to work on this year and made slices in the wheel based on that. So I have some new starts. I also have a bunch of sections that are like 1,000 stitches on this project. So I have a couple projects I really want to finish by the end of the year, and I kind of divided it up into chunks. So for example, for my pandemic sampler, I think I have 9,000 stitches left. So right now I have 9 different wedges on my spinner that each say 1,000 stitches in pandemic. So it's almost like a whip go type idea, but I just made it myself. And every time I finish a wedge, I spin it again. So I've been doing that for a couple weeks, and it's been fun because each of the spins usually takes me a couple of days, and I like to work on something and make some progress, but I also like to move around to different things. So it has let me do that. And I've actually only worked on 3 different things, all of which have multiple wedges. So the probability that I would get them is high, but I've made some really, really good progress. So I'm excited to show you. The first thing one of the things I spun was my temperature chart. This is, making sure it's right side up, Snarky and Modern Embroidery. I'm doing mine from 2020, which is the year that we moved here to Georgia. And you can see the day that we moved here is right here. So I've made it through, I only have 2 pages left, which is 4 more, it's not rows. I consider each set of 2 triangles like that's a row. So I have 4 more of those, so 8 more small rows. And I have it on my Tiny Decisions wheel as just 1 page, which is 2 rows. And one really cool thing about Notion that I learned from watching the tutorial, which I will link, is I was able to make it so that I could tag all the projects that I'm listing, that I'm sharing today, whether they're whips or finishes or whatever. I tagged them by naming that, putting Flosstube 27, and I was able to make a filter, and it's pulled up all of those projects with the fabric I used and the name of the designer. All I have to do is look at it. It's really cool. So this is stitched on Icelandic gray linen, 32 count from Witchelt. I stitched it 2 over 2, and I chose my own colors ranging from red down to purple. I did hit a milestone when I finished this because I was able to put away 2 of the reds because I'm not going to use them anymore. We have a lot of red here because we live in Georgia. It's very hot. But the highest 2 reds have now been put away. So we're getting close. I imagine the reds and some of the oranges, I guess, I'll probably won't be using. You can see, I mean, even this is January in South Carolina. I was still using some yellows for the highs, but again, this should be finished by the end of the year. That's exciting. My second thing I worked on, and I think I did about 2,000 stitches in this since the last time I saw you, which I don't remember. I didn't take a picture, but I did hit a milestone here. So this is Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl on Instagram, and I mistakenly said last time that this pattern is no longer available. Thankfully, that is not true. It is available on her link tree. I will link it below eventually, but I hit a big milestone here because I'm not all the way done with the border on this side, but I made it to the bottom. I still needed to fill in some of the flowers, but I made it to the bottom. I'm really optimistic they're gonna match. There's one great thing about this pattern is there's so many ways to check. Like you can check yourself with multiple colors, and so if I had messed up anywhere, I would have seen it. And so I'm hopeful that I can make it there. But the thing is 2,000 stitches was like this whole border. I didn't do a lot on the motifs in the middle, and there's a whole nother house like this. There's a white house. You can see how I've started it there, but it's as big as this, and that was a lot of stitches. So I think next time I spin it, I'm gonna try to finish that bottom border, or at least work on it, because then I can kind of move around from the motifs, and that'll be fun. This is stitched on, sorry, I'm trying to find it. Oh, 32 count flax from Zweigart. It is 2 over 2, and I'm using a mix of DMC and overdyed. I converted it because the original pattern was on a much darker fabric that she dyed herself, so I had to change it. But I did put on Instagram recently my floss conversion because somebody asked for it in a Facebook group that I'm in. So if you're interested, it's not an exciting conversion. I mean, some of it was I just didn't have the right DMC at the time, and I just found something similar, and some I did lighten up or darken. I don't know. The overdyeds I just changed because these flowers here are overdyed. So you can check Instagram if you want to see what I did for that. My third whip this time is Haunted Mansion by Tiny Modernist. And I think I have about 5,000 stitches left. It's about a 15,000 stitch project. So there's a whole bottom floor. You can see that little skeleton there. So there's a bottom floor. There's like a steps in the bottom of the house and a pumpkin patch, but I've mostly finished these top 4 rooms. There's also another tree on this side that's like that one. This is 36 count pearl gray linen from, let me look, Zweigart, I think. Yes. And yeah, I'm excited. I mean, Halloween's over, but I had thought I might finish this by Halloween, and it was just too much for me to stitch on it monogamously, so I did move around. But I'm so close to finishing it, I can feel it, that I think I am gonna just try to finish it by the end of the year. I also am making it for my 4-year-old, and he doesn't care if it's Halloween in December. So he keeps asking me if I'm done with it, and I'm like, buddy, I'm sorry, it's not a quick thing, but I want to finish it and get it like fully finished so he can hang it up in his room and look at it all the time. So yeah, this is a really fun pattern. Tiny Modernist, I find her patterns really fun. There's so many little details and things that are fun to stitch. So those are my 3 whips, all of which are on my Tiny Decisions wheel to hopefully finish by the end of the year. In terms of plans, I was sharing about the wheel. So basically I have the goals are to finish Haunted Mansion, finish Pandemic, finish the temperature chart. Those are my big 3 finishes. I have a couple smaller items, an Out Forest pattern that I want to finish, and then I have some starts that, some of which I hope I can also finish. I'm going to show you, well, okay, I do have one small start, but it's literally like 4 stitches. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. But I do have a little bit of haul. As I have gotten closer on Pandemic, I realized I was not going to have enough floss to finish the overdyed that I had chosen. So I ordered some more of some of the overdyeds. And because I had a little extra spending money, I did order Floating House by Cottage Garden Samplings. I don't have all the houses in my stash yet, but I'm working on it, and I don't know. This is not even like a winter or a seasonal pattern. I don't know when I'll start it, but I just love it so much. And I did get the called for floss. It's Caribbean Waters by Classic Colorworks. So that's what's used for the water. That otter is something else. I really love this pattern. So anyway, I just thought that would be fun. And I did get a few overdyeds that are going to go in one of my Christmas charts that I didn't have. So it's Pebble Beach and Gingerbread by Classic Colorworks. And then again, I got some overdyeds for Pandemic. Okay, I wanted to show you 2 project bags that I made. One, I'm trying to take everything out, is where Haunted Mansion is living. So it's a vinyl front. This is just some fun fabric. It's just this orange and black. I'm getting a lot better at these. I'm pretty happy with these. I love the vinyl front. So I made that one, and then this might be my very favorite. Let me take the stuff out of it again. It is a Grinch bag. This fabric, I think I got it all at Hobby Lobby. I actually had this last year, and then they had more of this. So it says like naughty or nice, feeling Grinchy. This makes me so happy. Just looking at it is like a dopamine hit to just look at it. And I do have some other combos of fabric I'd like to make at some point, but I wanted to have a place for my Christmas whips and my Halloween whips. And when I finish Haunted Mansion, I have another Halloween project that I didn't finish that will live in that bag probably until next Halloween. Okay, I was gonna show you all of my Halloween finishes. Some of you, if you've been here for a while, you'll have seen a couple of these because I just finished them this year, but some of these are old. So I'll start with the newest. I think this was just last video, right? I shared this, Sleepy Hollow by Hello from Liz Matthews. It's 32 count antique white Lugana. Yeah, I changed the colors a little bit, but it's mostly the DMC. Oh, and I changed the sign because I thought it was funny. So that, I haven't decided how I'm gonna finish that. Another finish this year was Celebrate Halloween by Madame Chantilly. This is 32 count flax, or maybe lamb's wool. I didn't pull that one out in my list. Also haven't fully decided on finishing that. This is my Squad Ghoul from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's the witch. I've got the other 3, but I probably won't do them till next year. This is on 36 count vintage country mocha. 2/2. Yeah. All right, so those were all from this year. I'm trying to remember the order. I think this one I did last year. So this is a pillow that I tried to make look like candy corn, but it looks more like a witch's hat, which is fine. The pattern is Hare's Happy Haunting by Plum Street Samplers. It is a free pattern on their website, and I will link it. And I changed it. I think there were 3 rabbits on the broom, or 4. Well, there was like the witch and then 3 little ones, and I have 4 kids, but 2 are young. So I put 2 a boy and a girl to represent my younger two. I didn't think my teenagers cared about if they were represented on a witch's broom, so I didn't put them on. I just had this downstairs on a little shelf, just kind of sitting there. I don't love it. Like, I wish it had come out differently, but it's also fine. And I like my stitching, and it works. It's not my favorite finish I've ever done. This is fully finished. You can see it's laced on the back. Halloween Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. I have a little board downstairs with magnets so I can switch it out. So actually in a minute I'm going to show you what I'm going to switch this out with if I ever finish it. But this has been on there all month. I did it with mostly the called for DMC, and I love it. And oh gosh, let me see if I can pull up what I didn't tag it in here. Okay. I want to say this is also lamb's wool. It's the same as the Celebrate Halloween. Okay. This is another Hello from Liz Matthews. It is 2 Pumpkins Bright. It is on 25 count antique white Lugana, and I have it finished on this little thing. This was just like wood. I painted it orange. I don't really know why, because you can't really see the orange. I guess from the side you can, but yeah, this was fun. It's funny. I really do like this one. It's a different finish than I've ever done, and it's just a cute little pattern. But I finished it and worked on most of it when I had COVID, like in August a couple years ago. So whenever I think about it, I just think about being sick as a dog. So at least it is happy, makes me happy. I love the spiders. It just always reminds me of when I had COVID. But yeah, and then my final one that I have, actually my daughter took this in her room, has had this in her room all month. This is Mysterious Halloween Town by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I had to look up the original because I couldn't remember exactly what I changed. I knew I had changed the words, but I couldn't remember what they were. So this said Halloween Town, and this said Bakery. So I changed this to Happy Halloween, which was very easy because I just moved the Halloween down. I think I had to make this a little bit longer to fit Happy. And so I think the little, like, these little curly cues on the side might be like not exactly the same as the model, and they're maybe like a little bit closer. Like maybe there should have been 1 or 2 stitches more between this and the little baskets. But I don't think anybody can tell. And I also changed, this was a witch, and I made it look like my daughter. I tried to make it look like a princess with a crown. It looks more like a princess with a beanie on her head. This was I did this 2 years ago, 2022, I think. And so I'm still learning. I still love it. She loves it. These are just so adorable. This was a really, really fun pattern. The overdyed in this were a blast. And this I think is also on lamb's wool. It says it's 28 count. I guess I believe that. I really don't remember. So yeah, those are some of my Halloween, or all of my Halloween items that I have. I still need to, like I said, finish one of them, a couple of them fully finished. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the Notion template from Stitchy Natty. So again, I'll link all this, but I watched the tutorial, which she does with Michelle from Bendy Stitches. And if you have never used Notion, or if you have and you're curious, like, would I be interested in something like this? I would really recommend watching the tutorial. You could watch it on like double speed just to kind of get an overview and see like would you want to learn how to use it. Notion is I don't know. I think it's pretty easy to learn, but I also work in spreadsheets all the time, so maybe it's not, I'm not sure. But I've really enjoyed, I'm hoping to spend the rest of this afternoon in putting on my floss. There are ways to put in your DMC, and the numbers are already in there. So you would just be marking off what you have. You can say what project things are in. You can sort whips, finishes, FFOs. You can make a shopping list. And you can track your progress. Like if you track your stitches, you can put in your stitches each day. You can do progress photos. I'm sure I haven't even explored all of it, but so far I love it because I feel like right now I do track a lot of these things, but they're in these like separate spheres and it's all in one place. And there's an app you can put on your phone. That's what I've been doing for the progress photos. So if you are a spreadsheet person like I am, I really recommend checking it out. The template was only $9, which it feels like it should have been worth much more than that for how much it can do. But I'll try to link all this stuff by the end of the day. My phone is weird about uploading videos, and so I often have to go ahead and like get it uploading before, because it just takes time. And so sometimes I do other things while it's uploading, and then if you watched it right away, I might not have filled in all the links, but I will try to do that ASAP so that you have all the links I mentioned. Yeah, this is a shorter video, but I was excited to share my Halloween stitching with you. And if you're here from Stitching by the Shore, I'm in Laura's Facebook group, and she is highlighting Georgia Stitchers this week. And so she asked, is there anyone from Georgia? So I commented, and I've noticed I've had some new subscribers. So I'm assuming that's where they're from, because I don't really know where else they would be from. So I haven't I don't know. I mean, I haven't been mentioned anywhere. I don't know where anybody else would have heard about me really. I usually will get, a new subscriber here and there, but there's been more than usual. So if you're here from Laura, welcome. I hope something looked interesting. I'd love to know where you came from. And I'd love to know if you've ever stitched any of this stuff, or if it inspires you, or if you have a floss tube. I always enjoy checking out others' videos as well. So I am off to have a pretty busy weekend. I have shared about our boys being in marching band. This is their last competition tomorrow, and then they have one more game that's a makeup game from Hurricane Helene. So we're almost done with marching band. But tonight I am going to the movies with one of my best friends. She found it. I don't know what, she must have gotten an email, but we live outside of Savannah, and in Savannah there is a college called Savannah College of Art and Design, and it's a very well-known art school, not just art like drawing, painting, but film and all of that. So they do movie screenings sometimes, and we actually went and saw a screening about a movie about Flannery O'Connor in May, which was incredible. And Ethan Hawke had directed it, and he was there for a Q&A afterward. And his daughter starred in the film. If you have watched Stranger Things, his daughter is Maya Hawke, who is, oh my gosh, I can't think of her character's name in Stranger Things, but she works at the restaurant with Steve, and she's really funny. I could not remember her character's name. Anyway, so this movie, I don't know the director or the actor. There is going to be a Q&A. I don't know who the people are, but the movie is based on the book, The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, which I read several years ago. I didn't know they were making it into a movie. It is I don't know the right word. It is an impactful book. It is based in the 1950s, I believe, mid 20th century in Florida. There is a boarding school for African American boys who are sent there as kind of there was no juvenile detention, I guess, back then. And so this is where they would send young men who had broken the law. And the book is fiction, but it's based on places that really did exist like this. And anyway, it's about a boy who gets sent there, and awful things happen. I'm sure it's going to be an extremely emotionally moving film. I can only imagine. But I had so much fun the last time we went to a screening. I felt very cool. As a 38-year-old mom of 4 who lives in rural Georgia, I don't often feel cool, but I felt really cool going to a movie screening. So I'm excited to do that. And then we'll get dinner and probably get ice cream because that's what we like to do. But anyway, I don't know. I'll probably come back in a couple weeks and give you a look at what I've been doing. Oh, I forgot something. I kept one of my spin for today for my wheel was to do start Harvest Tiny Town. So let me show you my amazing start. I'm not sure which way is right set up. Look at that. I believe I have 6 stitches. I don't have the chart with me. I made a working copy, so I can't show you the picture, but this is what I love to replace Halloween Tiny Town with. They did just come out with, Heart and Hand did come out with Thankful Tiny Town this year. I think it was for the August market. So that would be like the ideal thing. Like it'd be great to have Harvest maybe for September, Halloween for October, and Thankful for November, but I don't even have the Thankful chart, so we're gonna try to finish Harvest and get it up on the wall. And maybe next year I'll do Thankful. But here's the floss. Although if you've done a Tiny Town, you know, some of these colors, like this yellow color, I don't even know like what that's gonna be. I mean, you can see some of the colors like on Halloween are only used a little bit. So I'm gonna work on this. I think I said I wanted to do 500 stitches. So I don't even really know. It's a paper chart, so it's hard to know how much that is, but I don't know. They're not that big. I might just try to finish it. So anyway, I meant to show you that. And I changed it. That was, I did not like the fabric I've done the other ones on. So this is actually Vintage Country Mocha 32 count. The others are 32 count also, but this is Vintage Country Mocha. I don't know how to describe the feeling between, let me show you, like the lamb's wool, the Jobelan. I think it's an issue of even weaves versus linen. I don't love even weaves. I really don't like how even weaves feel, and I don't understand at all how weaving things works, and I don't understand why even weave versus linen would feel different. I really don't. If you know, or if you know of a video where I could learn, that would be cool. I truly don't understand, but I just have realized that for feel, I just really prefer, it's just got a little bit more texture to it. It's slightly stiffer, the linen is, versus the even weave. I don't know what it is. We all have our preferences, I guess, but, and that is living in, I don't have it. I needed like a pumpkin bag, a fall bag, but I don't have one. So this is my leopard bag that I made, or cheetah bag that I made a couple weeks ago. Okay, that's everything. Forgot about that. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope it's getting cool where you are. It's still very hot here. It does not feel like November, but that's life in Georgia. So anyway, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.